The Generation Zero team have just dropped a much anticipated dev letter, and this is focused all around the tactical response update, which is coming on May the 25th. Now this update does sound relatively good. We've got some new missions in there, and apparently a massive ton of bug fixes and quality of life improvements. Hopefully all of these live up to what they're saying in this dev letter. I'm very excited for this one. Just mainly for all these improvements, especially for the console guys. There's a lot of fixes that are focused around consoles, which the console community have been waiting for a very long time. Now, I know I'm going to get it in the comments. Unfortunately, no, there is no plans. They have made this very clear. There is no plans to bring it to next generation or do a next gen update. But let's have a little bit of a look at this dev letter. Before we do that, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more Generation Zero content. So first things first, the last dev letter, they explained that it were taking a bit longer as usual to bring out the new update for Generation Zero. In short, they wanted to give the dev team more time to thoroughly test what they've been working on, as well as fix the issues that were found. Now we're fast approaching the end of the new quality assurance period, and we are ready to lock in a release date. Now that is good. It's good that they're doing these thorough tests, but they have said that before, so I am hopeful of this update. Because there was a lot of backlash around the previous update with a lot of issues with crafting, and over the previous updates there's been a few issues that have seeped in and destroyed quite a few things and brought up quite a lot of bugs. Hopefully though, with this update a lot of those things will be gone. Patch 26, the tactical response update, will be released on all platforms on the 25th of May 2023. Once more, thank you for your patience while we're working towards giving this update the polish it deserved. We see your continued support across all of our social media channels, and we greatly appreciate having you at our side as we release new and exciting content for Generation Zero. Now, new and exciting content over the past few months, so far in 2023 there hasn't really been any, so hopefully going forward we can start to see some actual new and exciting content. Now, what they're going to be adding with the tactical response update is procedural missions. Now, I've said for a very long time we do need something that will keep the community playing and a reason to actually come in day by day. Now, the assignments, they're okay when they work, but it's pretty much the same thing over and over again, which is good for a little bit, but it does get relatively dull and repetitive, especially if you're a daily player. Now, hopefully these procedural generated missions are going to be something very different. The missions are a new way for both newer and veteran players to throw a wrench in the machine's works and earn some sweet loot. Once a week, a new procedural mission will be unlocked and playable for all players. At the moment, there are 3 types of missions with varying difficulty levels and rewards, with more types coming in later updates. They'll spawn at different locations all over the map, so keep an eye out. At release, these missions will focus on sabotaging the machines in their operations. You'll take out integral parts of their infrastructure and steal important resources. But watch out, the key points will be well guarded, and we're glad to be able to give players more things to do on a regular basis. Now, I like that. Procedural missions, even at first, obviously one mission a week, it does feel like this is a sort of replacement for those community assignments that were meant to be coming, which unfortunately never did. And I think community assignments would have been a great way to unite the community. And I don't see why the focus on that has sort of dropped off. I think it would have been great, and they should definitely continue looking into community assignments, or at least bringing them in somehow, because it'd just be fun, you know, destroy so many tanks or gather so many resources, and just seeing the progress that the community can make working as a team, I think would be great for the community as a whole. So these missions, what they've said so far, it does sound like there's going to be, hopefully, we're heading in, we're going and attacking someone, attacking loads of machines to clear out an area, and then we're going to do something in that area. Whether that's going to be that repetitive and we're going to have to do that every time, you know, go destroy loads of machines, press a button, it's done. Go destroy loads of machines, press a button, and it's done. I hope not. But we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't revolve too much around farming, because, well, we've got enough of that already. So there's a lot of ways that they could go with these missions, but hopefully it's not too repetitive. Especially if it's just once a week. Whether we'll be able to be locked on that mission and we'll only be able to do it once and then it's done, or we'll be able to repetitively do the same mission over and over again, not too sure yet. And what do you know? In spectacular fashion, I I was trying to be nice with this update, but they've released another DLC, which is absolutely ridiculous. They can't get out a roadmap, but they can release a DLC. And once again, I disagree with these DLCs being rolled out with every update. I think it's wrong, and I'm very tempted to not buy it, but at the same time, I love Generation Zero, and it all depends on what it is and the price. But I imagine it's going to be priced around about the same as the last one, and it's going to be between £6 to £8. Hopefully it'll be cheaper than that, because the community deserves something a little bit cheaper, because, well, we've been waiting for so long, the updates have been completely irregular, and we rarely get dev letters anymore. So, I mean, it's a tough one, especially if you love Generation Zero. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I think pushing out all these DLCs with every update is completely ridiculous, and it feels like the game now is just, oh, let's see what content we can just get away with shoving out there, and then we'll give them a DLC as well, because they'll buy it. And the only way that this will stop is if the community stop buying the DLCs. So, yeah, if you are a little bit hacked off with them releasing DLCs continuously with very small updates to the general gameplay, then just don't buy the DLC. But what they've said is, after we buffed items in the first equipment DLC, players were happy with what it provided, but they have more ideas for fun and useful equipment we could put in the game, so we have this premium. So premium makes it sound like it's going to be a bit more expensive than normal, so that could be up to £10 potentially. Will contain 5 new pieces of equipment to tailor your playstyle and give you even more options to approach a fight. One of them will give you a whole new perspective in approaching a battle. Over the next couple of days, we'll reveal items in the DLC one by one on our social media, so be sure to follow our Twitter and the Discord. So if you do want to check those out, the links for both of those are in the description. Now, alongside these, the procedural missions and the tactical equipment pack, there is a lot of bug fixes. On top of polishing the new content released with this update, we've also got around to fixing lots of crashes, multiplayer issues, and loads more stuff. They fixed the mission building blocks, the Homeward Bound challenge tree is working, and loads of other stuff. So, hopefully, there's some good fixes in there. Now, there was a lot of people that lost bases to massive bugs, and unfortunately, they don't have any ways to replace that or the materials. So they're looking into possibilities of adding a way to give back some of the materials that you lost. So hopefully they do that, because they will do that. But we'll see. They've also, as I say, increased performance on Xbox One and PS4, and are working on even more performance optimizations to be released between the tactical response update and the next major patch. So it does, by the sounds of this letter, if this letter is not all hyping up, then it sounds like we could see smaller regular updates with fixes between large content updates, which I would like to see that, I think. And then once they've got all of those quality of life fixes and the performance fixes in place, along with bugs and stuff like that, then potentially see once again those bigger updates. I wouldn't mind updates every 3 months if they were bigger, but I think waiting 3 months for an update that gets you a mission and having to buy a DLC is a little bit ridiculous. And then alongside the quality of life, they've done loads of stuff to that. The Vintovka now has bad luck protection, so it's being added to the Wolf's loot pool to make it more accessible to players, and resources can now be pulled from your plunder when crafting, which I like that. I think that's a really cool quality of life fix. There's nothing here about the actual crafting bench being fixed and that being changed, but we'll see. Now, coming soon, there are a small assortment of changes made in the Tactical Response update, but you'll be able to read the full patch details, and they're planning on releasing that the day before the update goes live, so that will be on the 24th of May, which I like that. That's quite cool. And then there's going to be, they're focusing now on quality over quantity, and it seems like they've got a new sort of update path that update and development cycle that they're going to be working on. But they're going to be focusing a lot of resources on one of the coolest additions to the game since its release, but the feature will be unveiled after this update. Very cool. But I don't see why we haven't had anything from you guys in such a long time. I think it would have been cool just to show maybe even a screenshot or just a hint of something, just to get a load of hype around whatever that coolest feature is. But unfortunately, it is not a story DLC or a new island. Now, we know many of you have been asking for one, however, we want to focus on improving the existing game that we have on our hands, and we're looking forward to talking more about future plans when the time comes. A new public roadmap is still very much being worked on, but since the extended development cycle with the new update is experimental, we have to really be careful when locking in dates and future trajectories. Now that the Tactical Response update is on the doorstep, we hope to finish and publish a public roadmap as soon as possible. Until then, stay safe out there and take down some machines for us. Cheers, the Generation Zero dev team. Now, I'm going to go a little bit off the handle here, but that is absolutely fucking ridiculous. We can't have a roadmap because they can't work on a roadmap, but we can get DLCs. Come on, guys, make it make sense. Seriously? Oh, I love Generation Zero, but I'm just absolutely love it, and I hate to be being so negative about the game because it's a brilliant game. It looks beautiful. It's so much fun to play, but it's just, it doesn't make sense anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. We can bring you loads of DLCs and take your money, but we can't give you a fucking roadmap. It's silly. It is silly. And sorry for being negative there. I'm going to stop the negativity because I'm excited for the procedural missions and to know what this new addition is. That's going to be very, very cool. But roadmap, we need one. Or at least going back to regular updates from the team. They post community stuff on their Twitter all the time, which is great. And it just brings the community a little bit closer together. And I love seeing all the community artwork and the drawings that people do. There's some really, really cool stuff on there. But what they need to do is be more in tune with the community on the development. It's like the dev streams recently. I don't get to watch them live because I'm working. But I do watch them back. And it just seems like there's... Oh, no, we can't talk about anything. Whereas last year, the year before that, there was, oh, well, there's this in the works, potentially. You might be seeing this at some point. Just little teasers that get people excited. And I'd love to see more of that again. Hopefully we do. Hopefully, you know, we get to see something more going forward from this update. But we'll see. We'll see. The future, time will tell. For now, though, we're going to wrap that one up there. Sorry, there was a little bit of negativity. And I do try to be a bit more positive. But it's a bit rough sometimes. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed and my negativity hasn't put you off. I've been Wired. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you very soon with some more Generation Zero.